Hey everyone, just a little technical note. The platform that we usually use to record decided to shit the bed tonight, so we are pivoting to another way of recording, and you might notice some slight differences to the audio. But we hope you enjoy regardless. Thanks. Bitch, there ain't no thing that's threatening about you. You're annoying. You're a gnat.
It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margie McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. I am Margie McGee, and with me, as always, is my dear friend and very patient with technology co-host.
Dude, is Mercury retrograde right now? Because
I don't know what is
happening. But my name is Ramona Ramirez Higgins. Hello. I'm happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you too. Yeah, we're working through our first real audio insanity on this side.
Yeah.
And good for us for making it like 112 episodes without a crisis. So
yeah, I guess I should be grateful for that. Instead, I'm just mad.
It's reasonable. I get mad at technology because it's so rude. It was telling us it's like your internet connection, and both of us are like, it's not us. The
It's
robot
not us.
is accusing us of something that's not us. It's
I'm
your
like-
fault, robot.
In a panic, pounding out a text message to Josh. Is our internet fucked? What's going on? What's going on? He's all, it's fine.
The
Yeah,
robots,
F you
the robots are
platform that,
having they're just having a moment.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's all right. We're finding another way. We're blazing a new path. Here we go.
We are blazing. Oh, I love that. We're blazing a new path, and we're going to shake it off. We're just going to. I'm going to practice being nautical Steph.
Oh my
I'm going to be
God.
nautical Steph, but I'm going to make it audio engineering. I'm going to shake it off.
I'm going to put on
Of
a
course.
full beat of Anastasia makeup because that's all I wear. Liar.
Oh,
You
she's
liar.
she's a liar, and she's also fornicating with the devil by hanging out with that bitch. I'll get there.
Really? Oh, I don't know anything about
yeah.
her. I was like,
Oh, I'll
she
get
looks
there.
great, but
Stay
okay, she's a terrible
tuned.
person.
She's a terrible person.
Is she?
She's a
Great.
terrible person.
Of course she is.
I wouldn't be me if I didn't always talk about the terrible people. I sure wouldn't. Sure wouldn't. Anyway, we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Miami, Season 7, Episode 14, Navigating Friendships.
Cute, clever, love it.
Before we jump into actually discussing the episode, last night I had a rare evening where my husband was out socializing. I was very, very happy for him and proud of him for going out. He had a great time. I'm thrilled for him. So I couldn't figure out what to watch because I wanted to play my games and I wanted to scroll, but I also wanted something entertaining on in the background. I turned on all 5 episodes of The Real Housewives of Miami after show that I watch on Peacock. I am going to give a hearty plug for anyone looking for something to watch while you're doing your chores, or not even, just like fucking put it on and just enjoy it. It was chock full of information that I found very relevant. Usually, you get a nibble here and there, like when you watch the Beverly Hills after show, but the Real Housewives of Miami after show really gave a lot of context. It filled out some things. My point is, Lisa shared that she has ADHD.
Hey,
Yes.
you called
So
it.
I felt very relieved because,
Yeah.
again, I have a big issue with people diagnosing other people, which is why I always try to over-index when I say I am not diagnosing her. I am recognizing hallmarks. So I was very glad to hear that A, she's been diagnosed, B, that my gut was right. Not that I have to be right. Ooh, see, look, I'm ADHDing right now. I'm over-explaining, and I have to make sure I'm understood. What I'm trying to say is that I didn't want anyone to think that I was being cavalier about my words or what I was saying. So, and I'm not glad that she suffers from it because it's not an easy diagnosis to live with, but she is in therapy. She loves what she's learning. She's addressing her ADHD and her PTSD and really working on things. And I thought, oh my gosh, remember last season when we were all rightfully a little like grossed out by the fact that she had to put reminders in her phone to call Jody. You know, he had said, dude, you don't really check in on me and it doesn't feel good. I think that that was her ADHD as well. Looking back, I really do. And it does. It takes a lot of work. Well, I think I actually learned that in 12-step rooms, Margie. I learned to not interrupt other people. And it feels really good to do that. And so now when I read about people struggling with interrupting, or I see a meme about ADHD and it's about interrupting, I can confidently say, obviously I'm not perfect. We're all perfect. That's part of the conversational experience, I think, is to overlap sometimes. But I have learned and practiced many times keeping my mouth closed, earnestly listening, and not just waiting for my opportunity to speak. So I'm very proud of her. But I wonder if her diagnoses, I wonder if she has a co-neurospicy diagnosis. That's also possible. But it lent to me some more context as to her past behavior. The other thing that I learned from the after show is that, well, I'm speculating, but it really seemed to play out in their dynamic. I think Larsa and Stephanie's friendship really works for them because Larsa is another yes person in Stephanie's life. I'm just going to leave it at that. Stephanie was very excited to become friends with everybody on this show because she has no friends in real life. A, I could have fucking told you that. B, if you have no friends and you have ample opportunities to socialize, and you don't, from what I understand, have a mental health diagnosis that would lend you towards isolating or feeling so anxious socially that you can't go out, I want to invite you to look in the mirror. You don't have no friends and you don't talk to your sisters. I don't know. I'd be pretty stressed out about that if that were me. The other thing I learned is that Marisol and Alexia, they get brutally honest with each other about Todd and Alexia and Marisol's opinion of that. And they are speaking to each other in tones that what most people would think were angry or defensive. They're just being honest, and there's no bad blood. No one huffed off the stage. They love each other. And I think that as much as I, find fault with both of them, or they wouldn't necessarily be close people to me, they love each other. And they have so much faith in their friendship that they can say like the things that I know for me, I'd have to like think of a really kind way to say it. I'd probably have to practice with my therapist and probably with you, Margie, and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, they just do it. And I loved watching that. There's more. I found it fascinating. It was way more engaging than I thought it would be. So just if you're looking for something to watch this week, I suggest it.
Is that on Peacock?
It's on Peacock.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's on Peacock.
Wait, when you said, did Lisa happen to mention if she's recently started in therapy? Because in this episode, Jody mentions like, we can't move forward unless we talk to
Right.
someone. And she was like, like she got all like weird about it. And I was
She
like,
did.
therapy's great.
I
Therapy
agree with
came up
you.
a lot in this episode. He and her big girl therapy panties.
I think that they record the after show way after they record the actual like main bulk of the
I think
episodes.
so too. I think they like record it kind of like almost in real time, like a couple days after, they get obviously I'm sure they get like a copy a couple days early and then record the after show so everything can be edited. But I guess my question is, do you think therapy began after the season concluded filming and before that after show was shot, or did she not really address that?
That's a great question. And I don't
She
know
does
if
seem
maybe
different. Even
I
already
agree.
in the season, she seems like transformed.
100%. And she seemed transformed also. Like even she's just getting lighter and lighter, like less burdened.
And more secure.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
just like, and also, yeah, like not afraid to say what she wants. I know a lot of people thought it was gross that she was like, I don't like not having a ring on this finger. And I'm like, I don't think it's gross if she knows what she wants. Like, just go ahead and ask now, so he can either leave and not give you one, and you can move on. If that's
Right.
if that's what you really want, like, say it.
Yeah.
Good. I was like, what a relief. If I'm Jody, I'm like, great. Now I know I'm with someone who needs to get married. Do I want to get married or not? and that will determine your next steps. That seems really fair, right? Or no? Is it
No,
gross?
you're talking to the person that told my husband, my now husband, 2 weeks after we started dating, are you on board with having a kid and me being a stay-at-home mom? Yes. Great. Continue. No. Goodbye. I'm so sad. I really like you, but
Yeah,
this isn't for me.
life
So,
is just one. Remember those choose your own adventure books?
yeah.
I read these like sports psychology books because I find them fascinating. I'm sure I've quoted this one before. It's one of my favorite quotes from one of these books where the author says it's better to be decisive than to be right. It's like you just got to make a fucking choice, follow it through, and you'll figure out if it's a match or not. And in that book, it's about play calling. It's like you just have to like make a move. You can't just sit there and go like, oh, well, the running back's thigh hurts right now, so I don't know if we should blah, blah. It's like it's better to be decisive than to be right. It's better to make a call, see where it goes, and then move it along. Either it's successful or you regroup and try again, or it's a huge fuck up and you recover from your error.
I think that's great. And also, if we all stated our needs more in a matter-of-fact way without ourselves judging them, and hopefully the person on the receiving end of our statement not judging them, more importantly, us not judging them, what can go wrong? That's only going to lead to good things, whether or not it's in that moment or later on down the line. More
Well,
honesty with ourselves and more admitting what we need and what we want is, I think, good.
as long as my first therapist really taught me this, and I found it invaluable my whole life, she said, as long as you're prepared for either answer, if I go into it needing one answer or the other, needing it to break my way, then I'm setting myself up and I'm setting this other person up. And that's not fair. And also, I would add to that now that I don't know is a fair answer. So if I say, I want a ring on my finger, and that person says, yes, I have to be prepared for that. If that person says no, I have to be prepared for that. And I also think it's fair if they say, I don't know right now. And then if I'm like, well, I love you so much, I'm going to stick it out because I don't know either, then I guess, that's cool.
100%. I
But
agree
I
with
feel
you.
like I have to enter into those conversations with like enough wherewithal to be like, okay, I'm ready to hear the answer, whatever it may be.
Yes, I agree with everything you just said. Yeah, you have to be prepared for all of them.
Mhm.
There's been a lot of acceptance about people going to individual therapy. I don't think that people going to couples therapy is talked about as much. I don't know. Do
No,
you
I think
agree?
Todd and Alexia could use a couple rounds of couples therapy if they wanted to really make that marriage viable. No, I think she was more covering his mouth when he said he slept in a separate room when their fights got so bad. And to me, I was like, that's like relatable. That's not like shameful. I think she just doesn't want Lenny to see any cracks in her life. You know what I mean? I think she's still very conscious of like his vision of her. He's so fucked. I think it would give him gross satisfaction to be like, huh, good. I'm glad she's miserable. It's like she's not miserable. They just sometimes fight and don't want to snore next to each other. It's fine.
I mean, if Lenny did actually stoop that low, and yes, I can completely see that. And I thought the same thing. Like, I wonder if this is for how it's going to be
Saving
interpreted,
face. Yeah.
right? This is not about how she actually feels about it. I mean, he and Katerina were breaking up on Instagram like every fucking day.
Every
So
relationship goes through like I
every one of
honestly
them.
I appreciated Jody in this episode saying like, look, every relationship is hard. This one is particularly so because of these reasons very specific to dating a cast member of the Real Housewives of Miami. But that's true. Relationships are so rewarding and they're so hard and so demanding. And, all of it is true. And I don't think that that confessional would have come off so cute, like genuinely cute, if they weren't like playful and in love and all the things that you want your relationship to be, in addition to being challenging and all the things that it also is. Intimacy is like, oh, so it's relentless sometimes. It's like, oh, I have to tell you the truth and show you all parts of me all the time. And I have to see all of your parts. Can't you hide the ones that are annoying to me right now?
I mean, you can do all those things, but it's going to cost you.
Of course, of
And
course.
I'm not interested in that kind.
That's what
Yeah.
led me to therapy is like I first went to therapy because I was dating someone I really liked and I was doing weird shit. Cause I was like, he's not, I like him a lot. And if I let him see all of these parts of me, he's gonna go. And she was like, he's going now because you're hiding parts of yourself and that's weird. And I was like, huh? So I had to do a lot of work to figure that out. And I'm glad I did, really glad I did. But it doesn't mean there aren't those nights. We didn't live together, that boyfriend and me. And so, but there were certainly nights where everyone went and slept in their separate beds at their separate places. A fight's a fight.
A fight's a fight,
Sometimes you just need
and
some space.
that's it. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
But yes,
Yeah.
you know that. I know that. But
I think so, but sometimes I'm not sure. But Lisa seems like more genuine than she ever has. And I can't tell if I'm just like falling for a new act, but hearing that she's in therapy and exploring her diagnosis and all that stuff is confirmation that maybe I'm reading this right as a sincere evolution of this lady.
I will say this. She seems a hell of a lot more secure in herself than one Ms. Kyle Richards on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And Lisa is talking about therapy. She's not going to life coach Jamie, as helpful as he was.
It's all about the patient. Because I think life coach Jamie had some good stuff to say. But if you're talking to a
Absolutely.
brick wall, you're not going to see any movement, you know?
Right, right,
Lisa's
right.
clearly, and she's been through it. Like, this has been a really hard season of her life, making up with her dad, losing her dad, finalizing her divorce from Lenny. Like, that is a lot of like turning of the soil, you know? It's like, it's kind of identity shaking, but I'm impressed with how she's moving forward.
And
I
all of
can't
that
believe I'm saying
without,
these things
I know,
about
me
Lisa
too.
Hochstein. It's crazy.
Literally, I know, I want to say this right now. Like, we have every right to revoke
Right.
goodwill. And
Next week, if
also,
need be.
it goes without saying that we are talking about exactly like what we're seeing, what
Mm.
they're showing us, not what she's, I don't know what the hell she's secretly liking on Instagram. I don't know. I have a feeling I know what her political affiliation is. I'm just saying what we are seeing on this show. She just seems light and happy, and she seems funny. She's hilarious. And I
She
had no
is.
idea.
I
Yeah.
know.
And she's doing all of this without her best friend, Larsa, because
Larsa's, yeah.
of Instagram. I just, yeah,
Well, and Larsa's not a friend. Larsa likes to control people. Like
no.
you said, that's why she and Stephanie are friends because they, yeah, they like to be pleased. And Larsa's willing to set aside her need to be pleased for a private jet. So there you go.
So disgusting,
It
dude.
is.
So we start the episode with our prerequisite housewife, classic packing montages and pre-trip FaceTimes. Gertie's FaceTiming Stephanie, and Stephanie shares that she had a hard time on her first girls' trip, and she hasn't even spoken to Julia, Alexia, or Marisol since they returned from Sevilla. And Stephanie tells Gertie her plan is to bring Nautical Steph on the cruise, and apparently Nautical Steph is supposed to be chill.
Can she stop with nautical stuff and jetiquette? Can you just fucking stop, Stephanie? I don't know if it's just because I'm like exhausted this week. I'm at my wits' end. I was like, can you stop trying to like label yourself and create characters for yourself with jetiquette and nautical stuff? You're terrible at sea and on land and in the air. That's who you are. You're terrible.
I'm a control freak. Like my husband, who is a control freak, is like, bitch, you're a control freak. My God, how do you live? So I I can maybe relate to Stephanie on that. My controlling, and I'm sure it comes from her for her too. I'm not sure, but I would guess that it comes from a need for safety. So I get that. Where
Sure,
was I
but
going with this? But
right.
she thinks it's an asset.
I don't know.
And
I
she's
think
so
she's
tightly wound. Like, how does she enjoy? She doesn't have relationships.
no, she doesn't. And I think she's trying, this is, I resent her because I think she's trying to sell me on who she is. This is who I want you to think I am. It's literally what I was just talking about with why I went into therapy because I was pushing people away because I was doing this shit where I was like, this is who I am. I'm fun all the time. I'm funny all the time. I'm happy all the time. I have no needs. I love everything you love. I'm excited about like, it's crazy. It's so one dimensional and it's like it's an affront. So stop telling me that you're nautical Steph. Stop telling me that that Jetiquette solves all problems. Like just behave in your life and I'll evaluate who you are to me, because I don't care who you think you are. It matters how we relate, who we are to each other. And right now, I don't care for you. And I don't care. And see, I'm so tired. Here it comes. I don't care what the source of your pain is. We all want safety. We all want comfort. You're 40, get help. I can't anymore with like everyone's excuses. You're totally allowed to lean into those in your 20s. And you can even, a lot of people in their 30s, especially people where therapy was stigmatized, fine. But once you push 40 and you're blaming everyone else in your life for all of your problems and everyone else is the problem and see how I do it right, it's you. Hi, you're the problem. It's you.
Dude,
As I point the
co-sign.
fingers, I'm a mess.
No, Margie, no.
I
There's
just don't like
times,
that where people
then
are like, I had a hard childhood. I'm like, we all did. We're
yeah,
old
dude.
now. Our childhood is
Seriously.
so long ago. Oh my God.
Plus, she's like she's more than 10 years younger than me. And so for her generation, therapy is even more normalized.
Yes,
Fuck you. She's willful.
she is. And this is sometimes the problem with being ultra rich, I imagine, because you can just buy people to say yes and I love you. Like her relationship with Anastasia, I got no sense of friendship. Apparently, they've known each other for years. Really, you could have fooled me by the way you guys both like flip your hair and sit at an angle so the camera captures you, right? This had nothing to do with two people being together because they love each other's company. Again, transactional. But you can choose who you want to make transactions with. And if you're not interested in like getting to know yourself and having like a truly deeply happy life, then you can just buy all the stuff you want and put your Birkin wall in your closet and hope that makes you happy. But I'll never forget, I may have told this story on the podcast before. I was working on a TV show staff, and it was a pretty high profile show that had a lot of hype behind it. And one of the showrunners made us come into work on a freaking Sunday. And he pulls up in a brand new Tesla. This was before Teslas were released to the general public. This was a decade or so ago. And he sauntered up to the writer's room and sat down and just sighed and went like, didn't make me as happy as I thought it would. And he was like genuinely confused. And what do you know? The show failed. And I was like, you know why? Because the guy at the helm thinks an electric vehicle was going to make him happy and this show was going to solve all his problems. And it was a tragedy.
I'm disgusted.
It was gross. And on a Sunday, we were all sitting there and we're like, oh, we're so sorry that your elite vehicle that you drove in front of all of us as we walked a mile from the goddamn parking lot, because that's where we're allowed to park. Sorry that it didn't make you happy on a Sunday to write for Felt Toys. Ugh.
Yeah, that's the era where it was just like a handful of Hollywood celebrities, like
Yes,
Leonardo DiCaprio,
that's right.
had access to Tesla. Yeah, and that's the thing. So you guys, the writing room staff are there showing up, just like the people who Masood and Stephanie, they sign their paychecks, so they're there like, oh, hi. Oh, do you have
Mhm.
time to pee today? I wouldn't want to trade places with her. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if she even wants to give me a Birkin.
I don't
Pass.
want all of her stuff just feels dead. None of it has any life or joy or personality in it. It's like her style, like we talked about last week. Maybe I'd get like a quick high from the brininess of the good caviar. But beyond that, I just feel like I'd be like, and now I'm uncomfortable and I feel like I'm with a stranger all the time because all
Yeah.
you're doing is presenting to me and trying to make buzzwords and memes, and I can't with you. So nautical Steph can, and also nautical Steph, I will say, when she walked on the boat and those god awful cruise greeters came on the scene, the camera caught a look at her and she looked like so stilted and uncomfortable. And I was like, oh, is this nautical Stephanie? The one that you said is like relaxed and chill and totally in her own vibe. Well, she looks miserable too. So I'm so sorry for all versions of Stephanie. Jetiquette Stephanie, Nautical Stephanie, they're all in misery.
How do we feel about Stephanie? JK, JK, JK.
Love her as a housewife, impeccable casting. Can't wait to see it all fall apart next year.
I don't even love her as a housewife. She makes me too mad. She has not one little bit of everything that's come out of her mouth to me has been repugnant and repellent and terrible. And I can't let go of her opinion of her sisters, and her house is just nothing
But the
that makes
reckoning is coming. Her second
I
season is coming. She's listening to this, not this podcast probably, but like she's listening now to the audience feedback. She's not being well received by viewers at large.
Oh,
So
someone like Anastasia will probably just tell her like, "Oh, those people are dumb. Those poppers don't know anything.
it's
You're a
true.
boss. I'm a
Oh
boss.
my God, ew.
Here, come love Putin with me and we can ride off into the sunset." Oh, I'll get there. You think I won't fucking get there? I'm gonna get there. So Alexia is FaceTime with Larsa, live from her nail bar, Alexia and Frankie's. Alexia, I don't think you're going to be winning any awards for name originality, but I'm not the one that I don't own a nail bar, so maybe I should just shut the fuck up. She hopes
Branding,
that
baby.
she hopes the group can. You're right. You're
It
not
is.
wrong.
If
Everyone
I
knows
looked at
Alexia and
that,
Frankie
yeah,
if they're
100%.
Housewives fans. I take it back. I take it back, Alexia. Well, you know Ramona. Anyway, Larsa says that she hopes they can all get along and make good memories. She's so deep, that Larsa Pippen. She's so deep. And Alexia wants Larsa and Lisa to get along, and she'll help if she can. And Alexia asks Larsa for help with Stephanie, too. Okay, good luck. Good luck asking someone that she
I'm
don't go to the
literally,
hardware store for milk on that one.
truly, I'm like a half a second ahead of you reading your notes, and this is that made me laugh so hard. Julia, Monopoly guy hair in the front. Who cares what's
Yeah,
going on in the back?
when
Because
Julia and Marisol go to the cafe.
it's so
That's
funny. It's so
it's true.
true. I couldn't put my finger on it. I was like, what is that?
I don't know what the fuck. That was the first of her two abominable hairstyles in one episode.
It,
Julia,
the outsides are
less
reflecting the insides. It was ugly.
her glam is like, oh yeah, let us do your hair. This is gonna be cute, but they don't like her.
No.
So yes, Julia has Monopoly guy hair in the front, and I don't know what the fuck's going on in the back. It doesn't matter. Too egregious. I don't know. Honestly, like what's worse, Kyle Cook's mullet or this hair? I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I think this hair, honestly, it was so jarring. It completely took me out, which is fine because the whole scene just revolved around Martina baking a pie and showing it on screen. And again, I'm just tired of like, Julia, please don't use this show to show what great moms you are. Martina's just Marty. She's just at home baking pies. That's how she spends her days. She brings the boys in the kitchen, puts them in apron, keeps them at a safe distance from the stove. Like, just relax. Either these kids will be adopted into an incredible life in your home, or if they're not meant to be with you, no amount of like pie baking and Godfathers in Spain baking seafood lunches is going to change it.
Oh my God.
I
Oh my
was
God.
couldn't deal. Anyways,
So this is where Julia says she wishes it was the six of them in her family unit instead of just four. And she shares that the phone conversation she had with her older daughter, Victoria, who goes by Vika, ended with Vika telling her, "Mom, I love you." And she tells us it's going to take longer for her younger daughter, Emma, to let go of the anger. And I just wrote Team Emma / Gray Rock if you need to. And Julia, okay, I got so heated. Julia says Emma is more emotional than Vika,
which
which
sounds
made
like a condemnation. She didn't say it in a way where it's like sweet or tender or something I recognize as a character trait I love about my daughter. It was damning, and I hated her for it too.
I grew up with the word sensitive, emotional, dramatic. They were all
Hysterical.
weaponized.
They
Yes.
all were used together. So if I'm emotional, I'm hysterical. They are synonymous. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, and I paused it when Josh and I were watching it, and I said, now I'm real itchy watching this because obviously I'm projecting. I'm assuming, probably rightly so, my gut is probably right, just like yours is, in assuming that when Julia is calling Emma emotional, she's doing it as a put down and as a reason why Emma is not coming around as fast as Vika is. Well, you know Emma, she's emotional. And I wonder if there are parents or people out there that describe their children, or other people for that matter, as emotional, as something to aspire to be versus something that is a condemnation.
Not if they're trying to shirk the blame off of themselves.
Right?
It sounds like Julia did a pretty egregious thing by not informing her daughters that she's adopting two toddlers and that their godparents are also 100 years old and overseas. So again, if I'm a daughter, I'm thinking like, oh, these human beings will become my responsibility. And that's a huge deal that, again, I wouldn't say no to, but I would have liked to have been included in the discussion about how we intend to proceed and get legal paperwork in place. Like, there's so much to do before you just go like, oh, we adopted two boys. It's like, well, okay, but oh my God. And now you can't travel and come visit me. You know what I mean? Like, they've entered a stage of life. Like, I loved being in my 20s and like having my mom come to visit me in New York. It was so exciting to like be adults together, but you can't do that when you have, maybe you can, but I don't know if it's the best idea to adopt boys with a fear of abandonment and then go travel to see your daughter. Like, I don't know. I'm overthinking it, but I didn't like it either.
No, I think that you're considering things that are very reasonable. I also had a major problem with Julia telling us that she hopes Vika can convince Emma to come around. That is not Vika's job. That is your job. You made the mess. You sit in the bullshit that you created and give her some space.
Nobody's to clean it up. She's allowed to have her feelings. And if she never gets over them, leave her alone. Again, in Al Anon, they tell you you can make a suggestion once, and after that, it's manipulation. So if you suggest, I'd like you to get over this and come back to the family, leave it there. Don't deploy your daughter to do it. It's just rude. It just totally takes away all of that younger daughter's autonomy. Ugh, icky. I don't like her hair. I don't like her attitude. Julia's a real letdown this season.
Yeah, and she knows. Thanks. I hope that Emma feels validated by all these myriad strangers
Yeah.
that agree that her mom sucks.
As much as her hair. Yep.
Ay, ay, ay. So Julia tells Marisol that Stephanie was offended that Julia accepted the private jet, but didn't come to her defense when Alexia and Marisol bailed on the trip to Marbella. And this really worries Marisol because she's worried about the cruise because she cannot get banished from Richard's kingdom. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Look out, Margie. If you piss off Richard Branson, shit's really going to hit the fan.
I don't think Richard Branson's cares.
You don't give no
He wasn't
shit,
there.
right? Honestly.
It's a gigantic cruise ship. He's fine. It was just an agreement between friends to advertise Virgin Cruises. So well done, both of you, I guess, except I still will never go on a cruise. And I'm too old for the Virgin aesthetic. All of those, like the LED lights, I'm like, no, thank you. Give me warm white light.
Give me a vacation where I'm not stuck
On
at
a barge,
fucking on an ocean with the general public.
No,
thank you so much. Where I have
eating
no escape.
Eating out of troughs 24/7. Like, God, barf.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Before this scene ends, Julia says that Stephanie is bossy. And again, another plug for the after show. Stephanie took a lot of umbrage with this term. And she said that she has leadership skills. And I said, nope, you bossy. What that discussion was about was not calling little girls bossy. What men can get away with as opposed to everybody else in the boardroom or anywhere, I understand it's completely fucking unfair. But when someone is a controlling, I don't know what the fuck you can call her. It's like there's bossy and there's leadership, and that's not leadership. If that was leadership, that you'd be rallying your troops, and no one wants you around except for the one who likes your jet enough where she wants to spread your ass cheeks apart and go to town on your butthole. And that is a Larsa Pippen. Okay? Everyone else is like, I don't fucking care, man.
Well, and also, this is the kind of thing that makes me crazy as a woman in the workforce. women are allowed to say that, whatever, everyone's allowed to say that whenever they feel it. But I do feel like that most applies to women who are equally or more capable than the men in those positions. And nothing that Stephanie has showed us yet. All she does, all the scenes of her at work are like, I'm busy, I'm busy. I'll pick that Birkin bag. I'm busy, I'm busy. What do you do? I don't see anything that you do. I understand the frustration of women in business with men who have the same or more advanced skill sets being talked down or looked over or whatever. But I'm not clear on what makes Stephanie so spectacular that we should be like, yeah, girl, you're just a boss and they don't like it. You're so qualified, they're intimidated by you as you pick which Birkin gift you're going to keep. What are you doing? How do you contribute? I don't understand. Prove me. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love it. But otherwise you're just whining and I don't need it.
She doesn't have time to pee. She doesn't have time to eat.
Sure.
Can't stand
Okay.
her. Oh, and then thankfully we pivot to a very just heartfelt, heartwarming, and yet also just very touching and also difficult scene with Kiki and her dad, Larest, at lunch. This was a journey. This was a
Loved
journey in
it.
5 minutes. I loved every minute. It made me uncomfortable because it was real
She
and
was
I could
so
relate.
honest with him. And he
Mhm.
was willing to sit in his discomfort. And it was visible at times. He couldn't look at her. He had to like shift his position and look off to the side. But she said, the decisions you made harmed me. And it's taken a lot of time for me to get to the place where I want to try to forgive you. And I'm not, that process is not complete yet. I'm glad we can sit down and break bread. And I'm also still working through how to be in a relationship with you. It was confronting as fuck. And I applaud him for sitting there and doing his best. Like he did do a little bit of like, well, the past is the past. Let's move it along. And she was like, no, I'm not done with the past. I'm not done processing the past. You put me out on the street. And he's like, and then he like basically did like a cartoon hot under the collar and was like, ooh, sorry about it. I appreciated both of them. That gives me hope that they could have some kind of honest connection down the line because I didn't have that experience. I tried to have these conversations and it was met with like lots of hostility and blame and defense and all the things. Like no stillness, however uncomfortable. It was just like, nope, you're wrong and you're an idiot and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, which was valuable information because then I could reshape the relationship with that in mind. But for these two, it feels like they could actually mend in some real like father-daughter kind of way
It seemed like
in
it to me.
time.
It seemed like it to me. It seemed like they both really met each other halfway. She starts the lunch by thanking him for helping her with the family issues that were bringing her so much heartbreak, which was like what we saw a couple episodes back, where she shares she's been getting death threats from her family that she can't bring to the United States. And he went to Haiti to have face-to-face conversations with them to let them know what the reality is for her and that it's not that easy. And she appreciates it. And she said she's glad he stepped up and did what a father is supposed to do for their child, regardless of how old I am.
Mm.
And I loved that she got real specific about the things her dad was doing to make living amends to her. I loved so much about what she did in this scene. Yeah, I feel like I'm jumping all over the place. So I just wrote, take note, Juliet, take note, Tamara.
Well, and Kiki also like approached this in a really like a therapist would be proud because a lot of it was like I statements of like I'm still trying to process this. I'm working through this. I need more time. She did sort of say like these are the things you did that affected me and that I'm not complete with resolving yet. She didn't say you did this and you did that and it was just like she was so clear on like what's bothered her, what she needs, which is basically time, which is almost like the most impossible ask. It's so painful when someone asks that of me. If I want this to work, but I need more time. I'm like, I don't like. It's like the I don't know answer. I often prefer a yes or a no rather than an I don't know. But she did a great job asking for what she needs, and he did a nice job like tolerating difficult responsibility for his actions.
I agree. And, she touches back on what we've already learned about her, that she was unceremoniously left on the street when she shared that she was going to be modeling. And she chose to forgive him for his role in that. It sounds like her stepmom was the architect of that plan, and he did not.
He cast the deciding vote of
Yes,
like, yeah, put
exactly.
her on the street.
Exactly.
That would be hard to get over.
And, she said she chose to forgive him, but it took a lot of healing for her to do that. And I love that even though he was visibly uncomfortable, she did not shy away from sharing her truth and her pain to spare his feelings. She was not being codependent. And then, as you said, he looks to volley that one away with, well, yeah, but look where you are now. And it's like, no, you cannot rationalize your past hurtful, damaging behavior to avoid your own pain by pointing out her happy ending. That's not how it works. I understand the impetus.
And the
So,
pain doesn't dissolve and evaporate just because something good came out of it. I love all the good things that have come out of the most painful parts of my life, but it never erased the pain. I had to go through every step of healing in order to like arrive in any kind of peace with the happy ending. Because the happy ending always feels insufficient when you're haunted by, yeah, a damaging situation. And I really loved her using the language, I chose to forgive you, because that's what it is. That's my choice. And it makes my life so much better when I make that choice and do all of the hard work to back it up. And it's like a daily commitment to like anytime like the blaming thoughts come up again, I'm just like, no, I choose. I choose to forgive, live and let live, bless them, change me, all that shit. Like, it just doesn't serve me to like grind myself into a pulp until they understand. Because some people just won't understand. Like, he's never going to come all the way around, likely, but at least like he's willing to, I don't know, at least he's willing to hear her out. And like she said, be like, show up as a dad when the opportunity presents itself now.
totally. Totally. And when he says, like, look at where you are now, like she looks to production, she breaks the fourth wall, she looks at production, she's like, see, look at him. But she did it with laughter and light. Whereas if it was me, maybe not today, but maybe not too long ago, I would have said, see, see, it would have been
Mhm.
a condemnation. And I desire to be as free from the past as Kiki seems in this scene. And it felt authentic. Like I'm so inspired by and proud of her. And I want what she has. I want what she has. I want to be able to just have a conversation and know that it wasn't an indictment of me that this other person was acting out. They were being their own version of toxic and fucked up instead of like taking it personally.
And
You know?
like, and coming to terms with that whole thing that is still so challenging. Like, love can still exist when someone is capable of causing harm, you know? And
Yeah.
Kiki is really embodying that idea that forgiveness is not condoning what happened. Forgiveness is giving up hope of a better past. So the past is what it is, and I'm not going to try to change that. That's all forgiveness is, as opposed to where I can get stuck being like, we need to go back there, and you need to tell me that you see what you did wrong and you understand what you did wrong, and you need to show me how you're changing it. Me, instead of just being like, if you're not coming to the table with anything, then either you're unbothered or you're not principally aligned with me. So, whatever.
In her confessional, she says there's this thing in the Haitian culture where the kids are not allowed to call out their parents on their wrongs.
Haitian
But,
culture.
right? Yes,
Okay.
yes.
We come
But
to
at
an
this
Irish
point,
Catholic household.
oh, at this point, I've been in America longer than the time I was in Haiti. I'm glad I grew balls big enough to tell him how I feel because most Haitian parents would slap you, double slap you. Can't relate to that at all. Not one
Yeah.
little bit.
And I
Nope.
also feel like you
Thank you.
know,
I can relate.
some of this cultural stuff also runs parallel to like alcoholic household dynamics. And some of the stuff in an alcoholic household, well, it's probably similar. There's a real fear of being in harm's way if you do speak up. And I think that's sort of the chill that went up my spine when she said the double slap thing. I was like, oh, that's a real threat. It's not like a cute haha hit. It's like you're gonna get that taste smacked out of your mouth if you try to bring that language to your elders. So
Yeah, especially like the Mexican side of my family. It was children should be seen and not heard, number one. Number two, anything the adults did, like, well, those are your parents. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're your parents. This is why, again, I've really found so much fault with Alexia over the years, is because she's been like the number one cheerleader of that bullshit on this franchise since its inception. And I obviously, my child is having a profoundly different experience than I did growing up in my house, as is by design. Whereas me expressing my feelings as a child was called talking back and could land me in physical harm. Leo is expressing himself. Sometimes we all do, me or Josh or Leo. We all can say things in a way that is less than ideal, and we all practice repair around it. But in no way, shape, or form in this house is him expressing how he feels about my behavior or his father's behavior or whatever. Is it perceived as being talking back? Ugh, so gross. Anyway, you know what I'm saying.
mm-hmm.
So he does say that she needs to let it go. We can't go back. And this is where she holds her ground and says, I know we can't go back, but I need closure. And we never talk about it. And I know it's a sensitive subject. And she says she's glad they've found a space where they're moving forward. So it's like she's staying true to herself and also not closing the door. And I am just, again, like, I'll have what she's having. I'll have what Kiki's having.
Yeah, I
I
think
want that.
the only word that freaked me out a little bit was closure. Because like I have not yet had the experience of any, yeah, there is no such thing. It's like either you integrate that experience into your friendship, relationship, whatever, or you go your separate ways. Maybe that's, I don't know what closure is when something has happened that's changed my chemical makeup. I don't know how you get closure on that.
Maybe she just means that they've both had, like, she feels heard.
Yeah, I guess that would do it.
That
Yeah.
that could be it. I think the other thing I'm seeing, you talked about forgiveness earlier, being that you stop wishing for a different past. This is the thing I've struggled with about forgiveness, is that it's for me versus like the other person. She's doing this for herself. And in turn, it's improving her relationship with her dad.
Yes, that's
But
the other
it's for
piece.
her. And
But
so I'm like, oh man.
that second piece is a huge part of forgiveness, is like for me to wait because I don't think it's fair they're getting away with it. They're getting away with it either way. If they don't care about what they did, they don't care. So, like me sitting here with my arms crossed, ruining my own life until they get it while they live their life. And I get really mad about how big and full and happy their life is. It's like, well, that's a crazy way to live because they're going to get away with it either way. And it's my choice if I would like my life to be one with my arms crossed and my brow furrowed, or one where like I also have a big, full, rich life. And like this with Kiki, work on repairing relationships with people that have harmed me in ways that make sense to me when I can.
Totally. So at the end of the scene in her confessional, she acknowledges her dad won't change because of their culture, but at least she knows he's listening to her. So she's grateful and she's happy he's taking steps and she's hopeful. And that's all you can be. And I can also say, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, that sometimes the hopefulness can end up in disappointment too. But that's also part of the human experience. And you can't do anything to shield yourself from it. I loved it. The scene, 10 out of 10, no fucking notes.
I love Kiki. She is such a light. She's amazing.
Absolutely. So then we go to the Lisa and Jody scene at their condo and they're packing for the cruise. And she says that it feels weird that she's not a Mrs. anymore. And she prefers being a Mrs. and her finger feels empty. And she tells him that she's not in a rush to get married. We've talked about this a little bit at the beginning when we were just riffing, but Jody says that being in a relationship is tough. Being in a relationship with Lisa is really tough because the lawsuits never stop, the attacks never stop, and now the stuff with Larsa and her friends never stops. So it causes them to fight and sometimes sleep in a different room. And you and I already talked about this. And that ain't no big deal. Every once in a while, people need their space. And if it's a better idea than causing more damage to go sleep in a different room, go fucking do it. Yeah. And then, and he says, this is where he says it's hard to fathom withstanding being in this dynamic unless they go see someone. And then she freaks out. So,
Yay, therapy.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Jody saying it. Jody saying, let's go to couples counseling.
I know. I appreciated that.
Yeah.
And I think, again, she was being like cutesy, trying to turn away from it. And again, I think that was like a Lenny thing, a public facing thing that she is uncomfortable with. Yeah.
Yeah. She asked him how he felt seeing the email and saying that she was divorced. He said he felt relieved and that he needs some of the drama to go down. It used to be that all the drama came from divorce, and now it's half divorce and half friends, and it's too overwhelming. So I just really thought he was coming in with like the frank and yet kind boundaries. And Lisa, to her credit, is not getting defensive. She's agreeing with him. And it seems like they're having a genuine conversation. And I had hope for them as individuals, hope for them as a couple, and it made me feel bad. So he did AC at a party. I don't know.
Nobody's perfect, but I do feel like if I had to be in someone's relationship, this is the one I would choose, certainly over Alexia and Todd's. At least there's honesty there. And I think they are both genuinely sick. Like, I don't think this has been easy on Lisa. I don't think she's been thriving on the lawsuits and the Lenny drama and the Larsa drama or any of it. I think they would both like to experience this relationship when there's some level of peace in it, but we'll see if that's an option with the way her life is.
So Jody touches on a little bit. He offers us a little bit more context as to why him texting in Larsa was so fraught. His understanding was that they were not going to be contacting each other and that he was not going to get brought up anymore in in Larsa's conversations with Lisa. And he was. Lisa told him, and he's like, dude, I thought we had a truce. Come on, man, work with me here.
Apparently Larsa's the one who initiated text messages with him. And the way Larsa said, she's like, Jody's texting me things he shouldn't. Like, the connotation of that is that it's like something sexual or like, you know what I mean? Like something inappropriate. He was just saying like, hey man, I thought we made an off camera, like verbal agreement that you weren't going to do this shit. Please remember that and take it down a notch. I don't have any problems. I don't have any problems with Jody, even his AC use, his denial of his AC use. I find comical, but the rest of it, fine. Enjoy. Party it up.
Oh God. Then we go to the scene that I absolutely.
This was so unnecessary. It makes me state Heffany. Hi, I'm tired. Hate Stephanie. This scene gave us nothing. This was just a long advertisement for Anastasia makeup and Virgin Cruise Lines.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I don't need any of this shit. They don't say anything of interest to me. But if there's anything.
No, I mean, just that Anastasia is a piece of shit. She owns Anastasia Beverly Hills, or I'm not sure if she sold it to her daughter. I'm not sure. I know her daughter runs it, but obviously she got super rich off of it. And, you know, before I personally knew better about her and her political views, listen, there's political views, and then there's fucking loving a warmonger, a dictator who is terrorizing his people. And there is I don't know if she's a Russian or a Romanian influencer that Anastasia is very good friends with. And this influencer is very pro-Putin. And Anastasia liked a lot of the posts that this person made touting the awesomeness of Putin. And the internet fucking found out and went scorched earth. And she unfollowed people and then, you know, she just tried to do a bunch of damage control, and the damage was done. And you are the company you keep. It was a mutual like kiss ass fest between the both of them, and I found it repugnant and disgusting
and boring. I don't
hmm
remember a damn thing about it. So I was just like moving along. I don't care.
Anastasia is the first person that Stephanie calls when she needs support.
I don't believe that.
I don't either.
It's all bullshit. It was just an advertisement for Anastasia makeup, which is
That,
great.
and then also for Stephanie to blow smoke up her own ass, talking about a party that we have yet to see where she's going to be donating the proceeds of a cocktail that she's designing for Kiki for the Haitian Health Foundation. I don't buy shit that this woman is trying to sell me.
No,
She
that's the whole
sucks.
thing. It's all a sales act, which is why I find it boring. Like I don't get it.
Right. And in more, you know how I just fucking can't stand the childhood trauma that I see in or alluded to in any of these fucking shows. And Anastasia tells Stephanie, "Oh, you'll be a good mom because you're disciplined, and then your child will be disciplined." Like that just sent chills down my spine.
But
I don't.
she obviously doesn't know her because Stephanie had to inform her, well, Masood is 24 years older than me. So like it's just like they don't know each other. I guess I just couldn't take any of it. None of it landed with me because I was like, you guys don't know each other. And like I don't care about this party. I don't care about anything. Everything's an advertisement. I don't believe anything
Yeah,
about Stephanie is real. So I just don't
yeah.
care.
Fuck this scene.
I
Can we move
cared,
on?
I
I'm too
liked,
mad.
yeah, I just don't care. I cared more about the cruise ship greeters.
Oh
I was like,
God,
oh, what is that job? And who created those costumes? And good Lord, what a nightmare.
it was a
What
lot.
a waking nightmare.
Oh, so the cast arrives at the cruise boarding, and the ship is called the Resilient Lady, and it's her maiden voyage. And they played some Love Boat-esque music while the overly enthusiastic greeters lead them to the perch. And we learn that Lisa still wears her wedding ring on her middle finger because she likes the jewelry, and fuck it, and it doesn't mean anything to her. You know what? Do it. Who cares? Don't make the ring suffer and hide in a drawer because Lenny sucks. But also, I don't know. You're looking at me like,
No, I think it's a process. I think she's
oh,
like
you're so
coming to
right.
terms with all of it and like it'll move fingers and then eventually it won't have meaning to her anymore. But like she literally just got divorced a couple days ago. So like I'm okay with it, like moving fingers a couple times until she's ready to
Totally.
release it.
Yeah. Turn
So
it into something else or sell it. Right,
yeah.
right, right. Oh, and then here we go. Here we go with the stuff that, again, is the second part of the episode where I'm like, oh no, third. First, it was Julia calling her daughter emotional. Then it was Kiki and the cultural aspects of her childhood, coming to forgiveness with her dad. And here we are, Gertie checking in with Adriana. She senses Adriana's birthday is weighing heavy on her mind. And Adriana says, yeah, there's ageism in this world. And when people find out your age, they treat you differently. Oh, and I rewound this scene and did my usual Yenta informed, emphatic waving at the television to my husband, like, see, I'm not the only one. This is a reality. This is a reality in our culture for women who are approaching middle age and considered middle aged. And in Adriana's confessional, she says she doesn't like to celebrate her birthday. Since she turned 40, she feels like that was the last time she wanted to stop celebrating, or that was when she wanted to stop celebrating. And so that's going on 20 years.
And it doesn't matter how, because she looks amazing. She looks
Mm-hmm.
amazing. She
Mm-hmm.
looks
Mm-hmm.
40, if
Mm-hmm.
that. And it just doesn't matter because there's the stigma of
It doesn't.
having been
Yeah.
alive as a lady for this long. And at some point she talks about how in relationships she's been replaced by a younger model a couple of times. And
Oh, God.
that'll fuck with you. Like it really does
Yeah.
feel like, the word I use often is like it feels like you're disposable. Like
Yeah.
you're just kind of like a paper product that's used up until the next paper towel descends from the paper towel machine.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, bye, here's a fresh one. Let's go.
Yeah. And after she made that confessional where she's been exchanged for a younger model twice, I said, that's why I think I'm too sensitive and too vain to go to their version of Miami. And I say that because I'm only as sick as my secret. I don't have the Miami body. I don't have the Miami age, the Real Housewives of Miami. That's what I think of. When I think of Miami, I get anxious. Like, oh, that's not for me anymore, you
Yeah,
know?
but I feel like it's the company you keep. Like a
Yes,
lot of people say that
100%.
about LA too, and I get so defensive about this city. I'm like, that's not true. If you've only met fake people, you haven't looked hard enough. Come to a gathering of my friends. Everyone's hilarious, kind, interested, curious. Those people are here too. The ones who get
Yes, for sure.
TV shows like this are all, yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So Gertie has some scared straight words for her friend, and she says, "Face it, Adriana, you're beautiful. Time is ticking, and I should know that firsthand." And she's abso-fucking-lutely right. She's not wrong, but neither is Adriana with what
That's
she's
the
going through.
thing. It's
But
like
yes,
I get it. I get it. But it's
yeah,
also like
totally.
when you try to almost like shame someone out of their feelings, like I don't think Adriana's committed to here's the thing. I'm the same way. I never celebrate my birthday. In fact, for a decade, I used to go to Coachella because it happened on my birthday weekend most often. And it was a way to like be around my friends without having it to be about me. Aging is fraught and people trying to talk you out of it and say like, just be grateful you're alive. Every day you wake up is a gift. It's like, for the most part, I agree with that. But around my birthday, you are not going to talk me out of these feelings. It's birthday blues. I have them. Stop trying to tell me to not have them. It's part of my makeup. I've had it my whole life. My birthday is the day after income taxes are due. It has always been a nightmare. I'm sure I've shared on this podcast before that our accountant, Tony Fukuhara, was at every single birthday dinner of mine because the family's taxes were always late and they were expensive and the fines, and everyone was yelling about money around my birthday. So I would get a pair of socks and feel guilty because everyone had spent so much money on taxes. I hate my birthday. I always feel like a burden. I hate getting old. So if I have birthday blues, please don't tell me you're going to die. You better enjoy this day. Because now I feel even worse. It makes me want to die harder and faster. I just want to be like, can I just have a couple days to like not like be a beaming ray of sunshine and I'll come back around. I always do. Every year I come back around. I don't want to be miserable, but like it's a lot to look at, you know?
That's a very, very fair point. It's true. It'd be one thing if Gertie was bringing this up 6 months from now, if Adriana hasn't been able to really anchor into a new perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing when it's like on the eve of it, or like, hours or days from it, and she's dealing with the realities. Like she says in her confessional, "I feel the pressure and judgment of society, and I feel the devaluation of myself as a woman." And I'm like,
Mm.
oh, goddamn, dude.
And that's it.
Goddamn.
She's just feeling it. I found a solution to that, which was to like escape to the desert with my friends. It's just a feeling. Feelings aren't facts, but like they're not to just be brushed aside. And nor is Gertie's experience to just be brushed aside. It's almost as like competing agendas of like my experience, but my experience, my experience, but my experience. It's that whole thing that I always ache for in conversations where I just want someone to say, like, I understand where you're coming from. Here's my perspective. I just had cancer. So I'm not going to go into your birthday blues with you. Like, that's just not a place for me right now. I don't get it. I'm so stoked to be alive. I can't believe I'm here another day. But I love you and I see you and I hear your depression and I'm going to go take a walk. I'll talk to you in a couple days.
Basically what she says.
Yeah.
She's like, "I look forward to us being healthy, alive, thriving. Let's just get drunk and have fun with each other."
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, they head to Marisol's suite, the rock star suite. And Kiki in her confessional says, "If anyone deserves the rock star suit, it should be me." And the producers are like, "Honey, it's sweet." And she laughs it off. And I just thought, she's just adorable. She's just freaking
The
adorable, dude.
best. Yes.
Marisol tells the group that they cannot have another Sevilla redo. So for tonight, they're splitting into two groups for dinner. And that's an exercise in therapy. They're not going to sweep their conflicts under the rug. They're going to discuss them to get better. And I just wrote surejan.gif, man. Our first dinner is Alexia, Marisol, Adriana, Lisa, and Julia. Julia and Lisa are the first people to arrive. Lisa is the second. She's so proud of herself. And again, Julia's there with her second questionable hairstyle of the episode.
Good Lord.
Which is only 42 minutes long. Less than 43 minutes without commercials. Two bad hairstyles. Marisol shows up and she's 53 minutes late, and Alexia arrives even later than that. And Lisa, unfortunately, is all too happy to point out their lateness. And the three other ladies are understandably like, girl, please. And then Kiki and Pips arrive at Test Kitchen, followed by the girl boss. And at this point, we see that the boat is rocking.
Terrible. Oh, God.
Awful, awful, awful.
How could you get excited about any meal, however many Michelin stars, if you're like,
I didn't think that
ugh.
ships that big were supposed to rock. Is it just that because they were in like, were they in the
It's the
basement or?
ocean. The ocean rocks. Like, I don't understand. It's like I watch Below Deck and I'm always amazed when the people on the yacht are like, oh God, it's wavy out here. I'm like, you're on the ocean. Like, yes, often it's calm, but like it decides on its own, like when it's gonna do weird shit. So like if you get on a boat, you're crazy. Again, it's the whole thing of like be prepared for either answer, still waters or wavy waters.
I guess I just thought that if it's still waters without a storm and you're on a vessel that large and bottom heavy, that it would just kind
Ugh.
of cancel out waves. Fucking puff puff pass, man. I guess I don't even want to go on a yacht then.
No,
Like
I don't. But
a regular
again,
yacht, not a sailing yacht.
any ocean faring vehicle is just like not. I can't anymore. I just have
Oh,
a childhood of sailboats, and I'm done.
poor Gertie arrives wearing sea bands, which I wore throughout the entire first 2 trimesters of my pregnancy, and she looks so not stoked. But then they start pounding tequila shots, which to me seems
Ugh.
antithetical to nausea. And then back upstairs or back at the other restaurant, Adriana joins the group and she says that she was sleeping because she didn't feel well. And Julia comes in with a confessional that's devoid of any compassion at all and says she knows it's difficult for Adriana having her birthday, but she doesn't understand what's going on with her or with their friendship or just in general. That's because you don't want to, bitch.
You
You're
gotta
not interested in
ask.
seeing anybody else. Yes. Back at Test Kitchen, Kiki brings up Larsa and Lisa's conflict and tells Larsa, I thought you guys were going to be cool again once you learned that she stopped following Marcus, or she unfollowed Marcus. And Larsa's like, no, I'm still pissed that she said I called the paparazzis, the paparazzi on Marcus when he was doing cocaine in the south of
So
France.
Larsa's just committed to being pissed off because
Yeah,
this again,
exactly.
like nothing matters. There's no stakes.
Exactly.
It's I just again I bowed out a little bit because I was like, I don't really care. Like,
Yeah,
this is
I
one of
don't
those
either.
situations where it's not worth mending this fence. If Larsa's dug in, then like, okay, then you be the one who goes through your life with your arms crossed and your brows furrowed, mad about that the rest of your life.
Totally.
Onward for the rest of us.
So in Wake, Marisol asks Lisa the same question essentially. What do you need from Larsa to move forward? And she says she needs Larsa to leave Jody out of shit. And Lisa, Lisa Hochstein says both she and Larsa need to let go of their egos just to try to understand each other. Okay. Okay. She's not
No,
wrong.
but my therapist would say it doesn't matter if Larsa never changes. What are you going to do? And also, it's not about Larsa not engaging Jody. It's about Jody blocking Larsa or not engaging. Do not disturb. Don't write back. Like what if Larsa never changes? This is what my therapist always says to me. What if XYZ never changes? Then what? And then I have to really sit and be like, okay, well, then I don't respond. Then I I don't, if she brings up Marcus and paparazzi and whatever, I just go like, I'm so sorry you're still mad about that. There's nothing else to do. So like, okay, I guess whatever, you know?
You're so right. You're
I'm not
so
right. It's my
right.
therapist. It's years
No,
and
but
years of
okay.
this being beaten into my system.
Yes,
But
I'm
it
really glad you
brings
just said it
relief. It brings
because
relief.
I feel like I'm just hearing it like, oh, that made my stomach like a little like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I needed to hear it. I needed to hear it. Back at Test Kitchen, Kiki asks Stephanie why she's so quiet, and Stephanie insists it's because she's nautical Steph, and nautical Steph is chill. Not talking is not the same as being chill. It's just another way to control. It's just another way to manage and manipulate.
I think everyone is seasick and they're all staring at food and they're like, oh. I think it's just this was a terrible gift Richard Branson gave these women. Not good.
Ay, ay, ay. Stephanie tells them everything she does is 0 to 100. My sisters think I have bad delivery. Now my new friends are saying something to me. Just like, oh, uh, you're the common denominator. Stephanie, come on. Is everybody in the world wrong and you're right? Is this is
Yes,
what we're
according
learning
to her,
about you?
yes. Yeah.
Gross, dude. And Gertie rightly choruses the rest of us. She's concerned how long nautical Steph will be with us, depending on the drama. Gross. Anyway. So Stephanie says if it's constructive criticism, she's open to hearing it, but that she's not accepting that just because her delivery was bad, that she was wrong. And I said, bitch, porque no los dos. You did dangle that fucking plane. You did it. And oh my God, Margie, in the after show, she shares even more rules about the plane. She said that her glam team wasn't allowed to shit on that plane, and they were on that plane for 3 days, and they didn't shit for 3 days.
No. How can you
Yeah,
control that?
I don't know. I don't know. She said
You can't. That's crazy.
if they can't do it, then you guys don't have to do it. I'm not going to go into it. Please watch it if you'd like. But
I'm sure they weren't on for 3 days straight. I'm
she
sure they
well,
touched down in between.
that's what
Like,
she
you can't
said.
ask a human being to do that. That's like when I walk Evelyn and people are like, oh, don't let her pee on the grass. And I'm like, she's a dog. Like, she
Yeah,
just goes when I don't know what to tell you. You can't like shove it back in.
yeah.
Get a fence if you don't want the dog to pee on your grass. I don't know what to
That's all
tell
you
you.
got to do. That's all you got to do. Exactly. Exactly.
That's just not humanly possible.
I
So
agree. I agree.
she, again, and also, but I'm just like predisposed to think everything she says is a lie and bullshit. And I'm just like, I'm sick of her
You don't have any
thinking.
evidence to the contrary that should make you think another way.
Right.
So, plus, can you actually? I don't think you can actually fly for 3 days. So, wouldn't you have to stop and refuel?
Yes.
But maybe she meant like, you know, 3 times 12. I don't know,
I'm
like
sure
three.
the
Who?
mandate is don't poop in the plane toilet. And that's not unusual for a private jet, but those flights are usually like whatever, a reasonable amount of time for a human being to be able to plan for such a thing.
Oh
You
my
can't ask
gosh.
someone to like, not, I mean, I don't know. I guess you can't.
Well,
It's
sounds
gross,
like
but
she
like,
did. It sounds like she
but you
did.
can't fly for 3 days. Like, this is just where
No,
I'm just
right.
like, it's all not, that's just not, it's too much. Stephanie.
Cut to 2 hours and 5 tequila shots later, a wasted Pips is flashing her titties to Marisol, Alexia, and Julia, saying she's taking pics for over OnlyFans because she's got to pay the bills. And Larsa's also feeling frisky because she hasn't had sex in a while and misses doing it 3 times every night. And again, I wrote surejan.gif. Ay, ay, ay. The next morning, Stephanie arrives at Marisol's suite wearing her best Amazon 80s workout costume because there's going to be an 80s workout on the ship. And I just wrote, Dorinda did it better. They compare notes from the previous night's dinner, and both groups discussed Larsa and Lisa. And Stephanie says they brought up her beef with Alexia and tells Marisol she has no idea what she said to both Marisol and Alexia at the Plaza de España because she was so angry. And Marisol looks at this and like, are you fucking kidding me? And so she sarcastically says, okay, you're not responsible for your words because you were so angry, but they were quite cutting. And I've never seen anyone look as taken aback as Stephanie looks when Marisol tells her this. And I am just like disgusted.
I love how Marisol said that. And I loved that it had the desired effect of stopping Stephanie in her bullshit tracks. Of being like, it's basically what we were saying at the beginning of this episode. Just because you know the reason why you acted out does not excuse your acting out. So I don't care how angry you were. You said hateful shit, and here we are. You're not forgiven just because you were mad.
I was
Everybody
pissed,
gets
so I
mad.
road raged. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Like, what is that? And
We
she
all get
did.
mad.
But she really thought she was like giving a legitimate, like a legitimate mea culpa. Well, I was so mad. I don't remember what I said. Like, and
Yeah, it's just, I think she's lying and it's not an excuse if it is the truth. So
oh my God.
what next?
So she adds context that she said she was so upset. This is Stephanie. Stephanie was so upset at the dinner they were having the night before they left Marbella. And in the Sprinter van home, she shared why, and she felt very supported by Alexia and Marisol at that time. So it made her think she was in a safe space. And again, Marisol's like, girl, there are no safe spaces in this group.
I loved her for saying it. I
Me
loved her
too.
for being direct and
Me too.
clear.
Me too.
Don't get it twisted, dumbass.
And she said she thought at least Marisol, Stephanie says, I thought at least you and Larsa were my safe space. So when we were on our way to the jet to leave for Marbella, she was shocked to hear Julia say that Marisol and Alexia bounced because they were afraid of being stranded at Derek's badly decorated hotel house. And she had no idea they were mad at her. And Marisol says, bruh, we weren't mad. I like you, but I don't need you to offer me things. I don't want to hear about how much it costs to fill the jet with fuel. And Stephanie says she's sorry it comes across like she dangles her stuff. It's not her intention. And I said, bullshit.
And also, again, it doesn't matter. Just say, I'm so sorry I put you in a position to feel like that. That sucks. I would have felt the same way. Like, just try to understand instead of being like, well, you shouldn't have taken that way. You're dumb. I hate her. She's really obnoxious. I love Marisol in the scene for just going straight at it. Don't tell me how much it costs to fly the plane. Don't give me gifts. If I'm going to be your friend, I'm going to be your friend. Stop trying to buy my ass and stop trying to control me by buying my ass. I'm not available for such a relationship. What now?
And of course, Stephanie has to say, well, I don't think it was actually me saying, I think it was Larsa. Like, shut up. Someone told someone and someone communicated it. So Marisol says, Stephanie, this had nothing to do with Alexia. I didn't want to get on that plane. So after a while, I asked Alexia, hey, you want to stay with me? Let's hang and chill in Sevilla. And she was like, yes. And yes, I was also worried that I'd get stranded if you and Alexia got into it again. So Marisol insists to her that she likes her and she wants to make a new start. So they hug, and then dramatic title card 8 hours later. Alexia tells Stephanie in the mudroom that Marisol and Stephanie had a lot of conflict and that really bothered Marisol. And that's why they didn't go. Following day, Stephanie tells Adriana, Marisol is a jealous demon disguised as a very loyal friend. But if you're going to come for me, you better have a bullseye, because if you come for me, you better not miss. Oh, gag me. Gag me. Bitch, there ain't no thing that's threatening about you. You're annoying. You're a gnat.
And also, there's nothing the matter. Like I said last week, every reason they gave you is true. Every reason they didn't go, those are all of the reasons. We're not trying to pick out which one is the truth. They're all the truth. You offer this many reasons to not want to be a part of that private jet experience. 22 minutes in your jet was bad enough to stay behind.
22 minutes was bad enough. That's so
it's
true.
like, let's just not go. Let's just not.
Oh,
22
God.
minutes we can get back.
I would just be mortified and humiliated beyond all recognition if this was me, but it's not. Stephanie and I could not be further from, I don't know. God, I really hope I don't spot it. I got it right now. Because I was about to make a real bold proclamation that we are very different. But again, if I spot it, I got it. Ew. Do I spot it? I got it?
Not always. If it's hysterical, it's historical. I don't know. I don't know. But
Okay.
if I'm reacting to something in someone else, there's usually something in me that's unresolved. That's
It's like,
all.
it's because we don't like people that try to sell us bullshit.
Yeah, I hate
That's why.
that. And
That's
so,
why. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Phew.
and in
Loophole.
my normal life, in my normal life, I would understand that reaction and not spend time with these people anymore. But I'm committed to all TV shows on Bravo in such a way that I'll spend 1 hour every week with this woman. So there we go.
You're right. You're
I
right.
can't extract myself because I don't want to.
Well, I can't wait till next week to see what what happens. And just con cuidado, Stephanie. I don't think it's going to look good for you, but what the fuck do I know?
I mean, she's like, as much as I dislike her as a person, she's a really interesting force in this friend group. You know, her try hardness it's bringing out the most authentic bullshit detection from all these other women where they're just like, no, actually, no. Actually, that's annoying. The way you're rich sucks. So no, thank you. I can't wait to see their reaction to like, oh, Anastasia facial products. Thank you. It's just not going to land. Like, I think Stephanie is used to people being like, oh, thank you so much. You're so generous. I can't believe how lucky I am to know you. I can't believe you've opened your plane and your makeup connections to me. And these women are like, blow me. This is fine. But like, I know Richard Branson. So,
Lol. Oh my God. Friend, what else did you watch this week if you had time to even watch
God, I don't even
anything?
remember. I definitely watched, I didn't like watch, but I had Orange County on. And I don't know. I don't know. It's equally like confusing and there's no stakes and I don't care because again, Naked Wasted was disgusting, whether or not there were roofies and hospital visits involved. As far as I'm concerned, there was criminal behavior that evening. And so I just think the whole thing is gross. And the fact that we're trying to qualify it by like, how bad was it really? I'm like, it was just bad. And so can we not make this whole season about it? Because it's just making me sick. So and I don't know. I think everyone's lying and I'm sick of it. And so they're losing me, man. These gals are
100%.
losing me.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
It's team nobody to like an extreme where I'm like team nobody and fuck you.
Absolutely.
And I don't remember anything else I watched this week. How about that? How about you? What did you watch this week?
I finished season 2 of Love is Blind UK. Fucking loved it so much that I immediately started Love is Blind UK season 1. Binged that. More Gilded Age, Orange County. I think that's it. I don't remember anything else either. Yeah. Friend, what was your antidepressant?
You know, God, my brain is so scrambled. The thing that's coming to mind right now is my friend and her daughter stopped by the other day with like they took a jaunt down Larchmont and brought me like all of my favorite things from that street, like two different sandwiches from Larchmont Wine and Cheese, cookies, you know, like the warm cookies from Levan Bakery, like these like they're these like massive chocolate chunk cookies that are so good, spicy potato chips, like all of my favorite things, including their company. And they just came and hung out for like a little bit. And it was like so lovely and so, I don't know. I just love the company of my friends. Unlike my reaction to Stephanie, it's so wonderful to open the door to people I love. And it's so energizing to be in their presence. And it's so like healing when they've left. Like it was, I just felt like better and more whole and more a more recognizable version of myself. It's been a extremely unusually stressful week, and so to have that little reprieve was like so. It literally was like when the sun shines down and you hear the choir of angels. I opened the door and it was like, oh, like everything I love walked in the door. Friends, food, energy, love, sandwiches, laughter, all of it. I got it all. That was a pretty sweet 30 minutes. How
I
about
love
you?
that. I love that. You know, again, school just started for my son not quite 2 full weeks ago, and he's just thrilled. And I'm so fucking ecstatic that he loves school. Oh, I got my hair cut. I know it's like up in a pony right now, but I love spending time with my hairstylists. I love it. They are artisans and they are wonderful fucking people. And I'm catching up on the grooming things I wasn't able to do right before my surgery and then for the last 3 weeks after. So I also get to go get my hair colored this week, and I'm so excited about that. I can't wait. And just spending time with my family at home has really warmed my heart this week. It's been the real simple things, and I'm eternally grateful for that. So, yeah,
Love it.
had a great conversation with you on the phone yesterday.
Yes, that was
You
delightful
know,
as well.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, everyone, that brings us to the end of another episode of A Therapeutic Dose. Thank you for joining us. And I don't know what else to say.
I, as I like to say, my brain is a pile of sand. So I can't think of a damn thing to say except everybody take really good care of yourselves this week and we will talk next week.
Yes, always, always take good care, whatever that looks like. And we will talk next week. Margie, I love you.
Love you
Everyone, we
too.
send our love. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Ramona and Margie are
Obviously.
not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.